Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the world of V-Gaming Junkie News! All the dross was condemned to oblivion, so there's nothing but pure gaming-related meatiness. It is all about the electronic good stuff as we dive deep in all that's new in the various interactive virtual worlds. So apparently there's a scam email masquerading as a demo of Resident Evil Village. Much like the now internet-famous tall waifu vampire, this download link promises a good time, but it ultimately ends in disaster. Capcom has warned anyone who received the fake email to not respond or download any files and to delete it immediately. No word yet if you should then bury your computer and burn all the clothes you may have worn when you were online, but you can never be too careful. For those of you who don't listen to Weird Al, that was obviously a joke. Still though, deleting any scam emails and not clicking on any links is probably a good idea. So for anyone who actually cares enough, it seems Naughty Dog is hiring people for online functionality of some kind. The job offering lists various things like a player economy and progression system, having knowledge with action multiplayer games, being good at programming scripts, all that good stuff. It's speculated that this could be a multiplayer mode for The Last of Us 2 for all 5 of you out there, but it honestly could be anything really. It could even be a new game for all we know. All we know is that they'll probably try to dip their toes into a live service multiplayer type of thing, as if we needed another game company doing that. Guess we'll have to see what comes of it, good or probably bad. Now for some tragic news. It would seem a fire broke out in an OVH data center. Okay, it's actually nowhere near as tragic as you may think, because nobody was actually injured. However, this affected their servers, as it would seem millions of websites were forced offline. Moreover, the game Rust was knocked offline as a result of this. Rust's producer, Alistair McFarlane, has expressed intent to find other servers for the game. So it would seem that DDoS attacks forced them to be very particular about what kind of server they use. While this is very unfortunate for Rust players as well as the developers and publishing company, I think we can all at least breathe a sigh of relief that nobody was injured in the fire. Really, this situation could have been a whole lot worse. And for this next news story, the internet ought to feel very ashamed. Shame, 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 internet, of which I am a part of. Leaking that Elden Ring trailer, which I flat out showed on my previous news video. In case you can't tell, that's called self-deprecating humor. Nah, but seriously, it seems that Bandai Namco is pushing back further showcasing the game in light of this leak. Jeff Grubb mentioned something to the effect of discovering the source of the leak being their priority. As exciting as I sort of found the trailer despite being off screen, it's a shame that the leak is leading to problems for the publisher. Hopefully they can resolve it and get back to business as usual. I, for one, am very much looking forward to the Elden Ring, being obsessed over Dark Souls 3 and all. So Phil Spencer has announced that some Bethesda, or rather ZeniMax if you think about it, releases will be Microsoft exclusive. He mentioned specifically new titles, so existing IPs might still come to PlayStation and maybe even Switch. Given that Starfield barely even has anything about it aside from a logo and that it's a new IP, it may very well end up being Xbox and PC exclusive. Hard to say on that one, but that does mean at least some things won't be going on rival systems. While I'm primarily a PC gamer, so being exclusive in this way won't really hurt me, I'm still overall against exclusives to a degree. Something made in-house like Nintendo's franchises or maybe God of War, I can see that. Games made by third parties and published by the first party though, I hope they don't remain exclusive forever. Yes, I may be still hoping for Bloodborne on PC, but hey, I hope Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo fans can all enjoy as many games as possible. If you're a fan of Build-A-Bear and Animal Crossing, then boy do I have good news for you. It seems there will be some kind of deal to have Animal Crossing characters as stuffed toys at the old brick-and-mortar store. There's basically no details to go on aside from that, but it's interesting to see such a partnership. Apparently Pokemon was already a thing in Build-A-Bear, and I'm curious what other franchises from Nintendo might make it over. Star Fox might seem like an obvious choice, but not sure if there's much demographic overlap. Let's be real, this will likely lead to some Mario stuffers. Either way though, it's a pretty interesting crossover story. As always, from the page of Games Radar, it's time for the next week's round of release dates. The 16th has almost all of them, starting with Elder Scrolls Online Flames of Ambition DLC for PS4 and Xbox One, as well as Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning for the Switch. Following up is Monster Truck Championship for PS5 and Series X, Mondown for PC, PS4, and X1, as well as Samurai Showdown for Series X. Rounding out is Stubbs the Zombie, Rebel Without a Pulse for the Switch, a game that is near and dear to my heart as well as brain. The 18th brings Cartel Tycoon for PC and Marvel's Avengers for PS5 and Series X. Finally, the 19th has Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville for Switch, interestingly enough. This week's epic freebie until next Thursday is Surviving Mars, a strategy game about establishing a colony on Mars. It's a little funny to see a game like this, given reality looks like it'll be imitating it soon enough. And as always, that rounds out this news week. I hope you all enjoyed and were well enough informed. As always, I Let's Play every single day, 10 a.m. and 2 p.m, live stream Mondays and Fridays unless otherwise specified at 4:30 p.m, and these news programs are Sundays at 6 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time, of course, but you can always subscribe and super hyper ultra mega punch that bell icon if you don't want to have to worry about keeping track of time zones. A like is always appreciated for those algorithms, but I just hope you genuinely liked it, and that is it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Spread this video around like delicious cheese pumpkin soup, and I'll see you next time. Capitalize on life, peace out, have a good one, and I'll see you next week.